Hello friends, this is Sheikh Aman. Let's go with the part 1. So IDE code walkthrough. Before that, let's introduce my application that I've been building for the past 4 workshops. So it's a MediScribe. It's an AI powered clinical documentation assistant. So it's nothing but it goes through certain stages. I will share you in the upcoming live application demo. So coming to the part 1, the core AI use case is in the source folder. So this is the document structure in my file explorer. And coming to that, for development and deployment of my application, I have been using the VS Code IDE and the AI chatbot that I've been using for this development and the developing use cases and integrating it with IDE is GitHub Copilot. It has been friendly for me and I've been using for a while, and it's been a very good use case for me to develop the applications. I hope I can develop full end-to-end applications in the near future whenever I become the software engineer. So let's start with the project structure. For better understanding, I have kept it in this way. So this is my project structure. If we go through this, and in that I have like folders name, source folder, docker file, nginx, package.json. So as an overview, I will tell you all the features of my applications are in the features folder, and I have authorization, like example all the login screen and credentials will be in the auth folder. The patient workflow will be in the workflow folder. If any analytics and the dashboard related queries will be in the dashboard, and the billing codes, since we are dealing with a medical codes, it will be in the billing code, and navigating through the top bar is in the navigation flow. And the docker file, I have this one more docker file. I have kept it open for better understanding. It's a 2-stage build. So in this I've been using the Node.js, so it builds the application and then the nginx serves the static files. So this is a docker file that I have been using in this application. And there is one more, cloudrun.yaml. So whatever push I do, for every push, it directly pushes to the main branch automatically. This is an automatic script. It automatically builds and deploys the application to the cloud run. And coming to the app.jsx, this is the main central state manager. So this is like acts like the brain of the application. It handles the login, step progression, and all the workflow logic will be there in the app.jx. And the next is the ai.jx. It builds the AI prompts that are whatever in there, and it transcripts. So I'm not going to line explanation of the code, so I'm just giving an overview. Once we go into the live demo application, then you will start understanding how does it work and where all these files are used in. And this also deals with calling the APIs, parses the JSON response, falls back the local if it is needed, and for any authorization related queries and storing the credentials and what roles need to do what. Since we have 2 or 3 roles, there is a physician, there is a practice manager, and billing specialist. We have 3 roles, so each role is defined to a particular person. So for that reason we have auth, so that the physician is going into the physician dashboard only, accessing the physician related queries. And the 4th one is cloud.yaml. I have already told you about the cloud run. So this is nothing. Coming to this is a basic structure. So this is what I told you. GitHub workflows, it is used for automatic deployment pipelines. nginx for how the container serves. Docker file is for containerizing my application, and if there are any steps and acts section, it will be in the constants. And there I have also used the error handling situation scenarios. Example, in the UI authentication and verification and various other stuff, it's been used in the error handling. And for session storage and its persistence, I've used in the storage.js format. So this is all about the storaging. the object sessions. So let's dive into the live demo application demo, which I'll be transferring it to MediScribe. So let's go into that. This is my live demo application. So after deployment of the application into the cloud run, I got this URL. So basically, this is my application. So here are four accounts. If I try to sign in apart from these 4 accounts, I won't be able to sign in. Let's start with some of the basic verification and authentication. Let's start with A, and let's see if it authenticates properly or not. So no confirmed. I'm just removing this. In the password, I'm keeping it like that, just to go through that what it shows incorrect password. So basically, I'm just using the same ID and password, whatever it's mentioned in the demo accounts. I have 3 roles over here. So one is physician, the other is practice manager, and the third one is the billing specialist. So let's go with the physician first. So once it authenticates, okay, maybe I just need to remove some cookies. Let me reload it one more time for you guys. Yeah, now it should work well. Yeah, it's working properly. So we see this screen once we log in into the patient code as a physician. I have 3 patients basically over here. So before that, we have looked into the sample CSV. This is the sample CSV. Name, MRN, date of birth, and the chief, like that. So here is the let's copy and see the contents of this CSV format. This is the sample one, it's not the original one. So I have two samples in the CSV. So one is for the annual physical, the other one is for the hypertension follow-up, like that. So this is the sample CSV content. If you want to import roster any CSV file from the local system, we can import it from the locally as well. So this button works for that. Let's go with one of each. I'm selecting the Marta Alvarez. So here we have first one is the recording, then it transcribes, it later reviews, and later we have to sign in. So let's start recording. If you want to go back to the roster, we can click on this item, start recording. I'm allowing the permissions, allow, and we can allow the recording is active, we can see over here, and then transcribe. So once it transcribes, it gives us the some sample AI draft. I'm going to the generate AI. This is in the transcript section, so we can generate the AI draft for that. And before signing, we have to review all the medical codes. So patient 3-month diabetes and BP follow up, like that. If you want to edit something, we can edit over here. And example I'll say minor additions, and then accept. If I have to reject this one, I can reject this one. It will turn into the red option. I'm accepting. And if you want to see some suggested billing codes, if there is any billing code suggested, we can do with that as well. N1 and N2. So these are the priorities. So R05 is the cough, E11 is type 2 diabetes, 99213 is the established patient office. So for this type 2 diabetes, it will be keeping that phone. So here also type 2 diabetes, like that. So I will sign. Now it's finalized. So documentation time for particular visit is 1.8 minutes basically. I'm going back to the roster, and if I go through the dashboard, it will say my average time documentation time that I'm taking for a particular patient. this is estimated weekly time that I have been saving. Notes needing minor edits. So 82% of the notes needs only the minor edits, or that's it. The accuracy is 82% or more than that. So there are no more notes that have been awaiting for the signature. So these are the patient that I have dealt just now, multi-various and something like that. If I go with this one, same thing. I can pause in the between. Again, I can review. Ending, and this is the AI generated script. I'll review it over here again. Signing and finalizing. Back to the roster. If I go to the dashboard, 6.3 minutes, 83%. So before that it was 82, now it has been increased to 83% accuracy. So this is as 0.4 minute, this is 1 minute 8 seconds, like that. So this is the documentation per visit. So these are the time estimated time that I have been taking for every patient, and these are the patients. And coming to the access issues, what I can access, I can record, transcript and draft notes for the visits, review them, and if I can sign in AI drafted soap notes, and I can also import the patient roster if any. This is the for the physician. Let's go sign out this account and let's go into the practice manager. And again, we can see if it's working properly. Authentication issue, yes. Not found. 0. No, password incorrect. Let's sign in. So the practice manager, it will see the dashboard, like how much time does every physician is taking to review the notes and signing it. So just now I did previously for Sophia, and their specialty related as average time that I've been taking, if there are any edits that have been done, and how many notes we have been doing. So I've also flagged in red average time above 70% of the baseline. For minor edits below 90%, it's in the red flag. So this is useful as a practice manager, and I can go through the average estimated times, weekly time, and average documentation time, and if there are any backlogs, notes awaiting for the signature by particular provider or the doctor. So this is the access issue. I cannot view the clinical notes or content or signing notes. I can just compare the documentation time and note quality across the various providers, and I can view the practice-wide documentation and the time metrics. So this is basically the time metrics. And let's go to the another account, that's a billing specialist. Authentication is working properly. So billing specialist confirms the codes if this code is correctly related to this description that we have been using. So E11.09 is ICD-10, and then it's given by the Amara-Kim, and I can confirm. And if there are any red flags, I can see like this one, 79%, I can red flag it, and it goes back to the provider flagged. I can confirm. So in that manner I can confirm all the codes. If there are any issues, I can flag it back. It goes back to the roster, and again the particular provider can view it and correct it if needed. So in this way I have flagged some, I have confirmed some. This is all about the billing queue and the billing specialist. It reviews the AI's suggested billing codes, and it confirms the codes or flag them back to the provider. I can't see any clinical note text or any other confidence value. So this is all about the billing specialist. So let's go back. Yeah. So this is all about my application that I have been developing. So I'm trying to add more features in the future and deploy it into the cloud run. So once it is done, I can build my application and deploy it. Thank you so much. So this is the login screen. I can log in as a physician, and as coming to the overview, and finish recording goes to the once I start, I'll click the patient and the transcript. It's finished, the recording is done, and it goes to the generate AI. It triggers the AI.js over here. So what we had, the script AI.js, it triggers over here and produces the soap node. This is a soap node, and I can review the screen. This is the review screen. I can accept it. Shows AI generated soap code along with the confidence code. This is the confidence score, 83%, like that. Medium. If any changes need to be done, like that, 80%, it's the medium. If I want to accept, or I can accept it. If I want to reject, like that, I can review it and I can sign in. I can complete this workflow and it will show the documentation time 0.7 minutes. So coming to the dashboard, it shows the average time. So 82% dropped again to 82%. And coming to the log off, I am logging off from the session. So this demonstrates the responsible AI. The physician reviews every AI suggestion before signing it, so they can accept, edit, or reject each and every session. The AI never directly writes to the record without human approval, so I need to approve before approving it. So in the next part, I will show you the GitHub repository tour, and I will show how my repo has been structured. So coming to the part 3, that is the GitHub repository tour. This is my account, GitHub repo, and here I have one repository that I have been using for developing my application and deploying it in the GitHub repo. And this is the root repository root, and here is my all folder structure: src folder, docker file, and readme, index, nginx conference, package JSON, and GitHub workflow. This is the GitHub workflow, and these are all my commits that I have been using for the past 1 week. I started committing it to the GitHub repo, the application that I have been developing. It shows all the commit history and everything. And these are the 7 commits recently that I have been doing since morning. Application configuration, and this is the crossmark that indicates that there have been issue, or the build doesn't pass properly, or there need to be done. And GitHub secrets, I'll go to the settings, and secrets, all the secrets will be stored over here. That is the GCP project ID is stored over here, and GCP SA key also, that is service account credentials, will be stored in the secrets, using which we can deploy our application to the cloud run. And coming back to the structure, this is the workflow. This is cloud run YAML, where my application triggers to deploy, and this is a docker file for 2-stage build, and the packages and everything will be stored in the package JSON. And this is the README. MediScribe is a React-based clinical documentation prototype to simulate the modern ambulatory care workflow. It guides the clinical patient selection, visiting records, so note editing, building code review, and everything. And what this project includes, it gives the small overview. It reviews the rule-based access, importing the CSV, simulated visit, AI drafted generation for the soap notes, reviewing, signing off, some dashboards, basic dashboards, and persistent client-side state. The tech stack that I have used for the development of application is React 18, Tailwind CSS, recharts for the dashboard visualization, and this is the project structure, starting from the SRC for permissions, library themes. To get started with my application, we need to install npm install to install all the dependencies, and to start the development server, npm run dev. And for building for the production, npm run build. This command we can, if if we run these commands, it's ready for the production, and these are the demo accounts. So this is like a prototype. And if I go to the actions, this is the cloud run deploy. Do you see over here cloud run deploy? So I've been trying to deploy my application to the cloud run. So in the last try, it's successful. So if we go to any commit, it will say why it was not, whether there are any issues like that. So it was with the authentication like that. So we can go with the summary and everything. So in the latest deploy, if you go to the latest deploy, we can see why it went through. It was successful. So it is a success. And if you go through every documentation, it goes through all these stages. First, set up the job, check out the code, authenticate to cloud, Google Cloud, and set up the Cloud SDK, enable all the APIs, and again we have to build and push the images, Docker image. It will say successful. We can see the message, then deploy to the cloud run, and we have to authenticate to the cloud run. And once we complete the job, then it's success. The process is finished. This is all about the GitHub repository, and there were no issues, and this is the structure. That's it from my end. Yeah. Let's dive into the part 4, that is the Cloud Run console, which I will show you in the next Cloud Run demo. Let's go into the final part, that is the part 4 for the Google Cloud Run console. So this is my Google Cloud. I've been signing it through my account. This is Shekaman. And let's go into the Cloud console. Once I click on that, it takes me over here. Okay, let me walk through you this one. So this is the overview of my application. This is my deployed application, and here are the services. If there are any services, currently only one service I have been deploying on the Cloud Run, and this is successful, ready to serve the traffic. It shows, and the region is the US Central. It's for the public access, and it's deployed by GitHub Actions. So once I click on that, it takes me to the dashboard, and this is my URL, application URL that we just did demo in the part 2, and this is the traffic over here. So we can this is the metrics, how many requests that we have hit, any latencies over here. So currently I have set the scaling to auto, that is minimum 0 and maximum up to 3, so that I am not surprised with some billings or any cost related to the cloud services that I have been using. And here are the logs. If I have to look into the logs, this is the logs giving me the timestamp and if anything happening over here. So if there are any issues, I can go through the logs particular timestamp and look through that and resolve that issues. And for the SLOs, there have been no SLOs at the moment, and for the past 6 hours, no errors found after deploying. So we can go through this one, and to look into the cost, we can see the enable API. So these are the services, and this is the overview of that. Coming to that, this is the application running on the cloud, and this is my project name, my first project, and the project number and the project ID. This have been used for GitHub Actions that I have shown you earlier, where we can store the secrets, that is the service account secrets and the credentials like project ID into the Actions tab into the GitHub. So this is from where we can retrieve all this, and this is the API request hits, and there have been no error handling, no sign of any errors, and I can set up the billing as well. Currently the billing estimate charges are 0, since this is the free service that I've been using it. And basically, since the cloud run is serverless, it scales to 0 when nobody is using the app. So this is what I have shown you over here. Yeah, this is the cloud auto. If nobody's using, it uses the 0 instances, or else it will go up to the 3 depending upon the scaling. So whenever request comes in, it spins up the container running the nginx, and that serves the React app. So the container was built from the Docker file. We have been using Docker file, and the Node.js compiled the React app, and then nginx serves the resulting. So this is all about my application right from the scratch, that is development, until to hosting it to the on the local host, and again deploying it to the GitHub repo, and from there on deploying onto the Google Cloud Run. So if it was on the local, only I can access, but now with this link, anybody can access this application and walk through the application and everything. And for the logs and everything, I can go this tab and everything. So there were no major revisions, only one revision was there. And this is the container speed, building, concurrency and everything. Whatever, if we needed any item from networking, if there is any security related, this is where we can look through at. So currently this, for security reasons, it requires authentication. So I can, all users has been granted. If I enable this one, it will go like all the users can access this link and go through my application. So this is all about my AI use case that I have been developing. Hopefully this app is more sophisticated than it appears, since it's a real AI prompt engineering, role-based access control, and everything deals in this application. So I have learned a lot throughout the development of my application, right from the error handling, CI/CD pipeline, role-based access controlling, and fallback handling, everything. So I spent a quite amount of time on developing this application and deploying it. Last night I was having a lot of issues on deploying on the cloud run due to some API hitting and the cloud related issues of for authentication. So by going through the logs and everything, I could able to access and resolve all the issues. So in this way, like, these logs are very useful. And thank you so much, guys. This was my application, MediScribe, and I hope you see me next time. Thank you so much.